Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is TituElite and we are back in Best Served Gold with episode number 24 and day number 4 of the case 3. I think this case 3 is the last one of the game, so we are approaching the end. We are in day 4 out of 16, but we still need to find out a lot about this double murder. We've got our primary suspect, and the police primary suspect, Bjorn. We've got the motive, we've got the evidence. We need an alibi for him if we can. And with that said, we know you were in the party. My boss Ilya was not, so let's start with Ilya. And we are going to leave Bjorn. Well, I can talk to Bjorn, but yeah, let's talk to Bjorn first. Hello, Bjorn. In a bad mood. Bjorn's shoulders are slumped and he sits down with a deflated sigh. He pulls at a thread on his sleeve, then grunts and shakes his head. Hello, I'm glad to see you, pal. I'm not causing bother by coming here, am I? Bjorn, I have your back. You are going to beat this murder charge. Bjorn, I'm not sure you should be here. No, let's welcome him. Nice. I appreciate that, pal. I really do. Anytime. Bjorn opens his mouth, then his words stall. He shrugs, like he has nothing left. It might take some time before he will open again. Interest in talking or just a drink? Despite everything happening, it is good to see your face, pal. Okay, so do we know what you like? Okay, we've got a lot of things that you like. So let's serve you a drink. I need something very, very strong. Okay, we've got a copper bullet. That is not that strong. Should I make you drunk already with the one night stand? Or should I give you the copper bullet and put you in a good mood? Let's put you in a good mood for starters with a copper bullet. That's great stuff. So it is. A few more of these and I'll forget all my troubles. Now you are in a good mood. Despite... yeah. So let's not ask you first about the crime. Let's ask you about Lucas. How is Lucas? How do you think? He's in bits? In bits? He's a mess, scrambling to try and find some rich or powerful connection that can get me off the hook, or some loophole that can get me out of bother. Any luck? It's pointless. You are battling against the machine. The best thing he can do is keep his distance from me, or it will shoo him up too. If he can help you, you should let him. He needs to think about his own safety. No, first one. Keep an eye on him for me, will you? He's sensitive, but he's tougher than he looks too. He'll get through this, but still, do me a favor and look out for the lad. I'll do what I can. So, now the machine. What do you mean by the machine? There's a big machine that's been set in motion, and it's designed to burn up people like me, but it's more than that. What do you mean? The machine is a concept from literature. It's from a book, well, a pamphlet originally. The writer called it a treatise, but to my mind it's a grand term. His name was Alex Abrovs. He wrote about the machine. He coined the phrase, but he argues the machine has always existed, and it will always exist, and I agree. What is it? Abrovov says the machine appears in all cultures at some point. It's a complex idea, but here's the basics. The machine is the gears of industry, commerce, and the law, and there are two types of people who are affected by the machine. There's those that control the levers that make the machine work, and there's those that get ground up and burned to fuel the machine. Abrovov says the machine doesn't care if you don't believe in it, you'll still burn. The machine doesn't care if you want out, you still burn. The machine doesn't care if you control the levers, you have to use them and they will still burn. Sometimes the machine burns you up so slow and you don't notice, but you still burn. So what are we supposed to do? Albrovs isn't too optimistic. He says every time we realize we are part of the machine, those hurt by it will rise up, but in its place they will build a bigger, more complex machine, subtler, but eventually even more cruel. I think we can build a better system. As a theory, it all seems a bit doom and gloom for me before all of this, but I think deep down I knew it was true. Now I'm on the wrong side of the law. I feel myself getting burned up. I see the truth, but I know there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. And family. How is your family dealing with this? My ma doesn't know, and my brothers will all be back with her soon enough. Your brother moved back out? Caleb left yesterday morning. The journey will take a few days. Will he be okay? Aye, I don't want to tempt fate, but I think he will. How did he turn it around? It got him a dog. That's simple? Aye, that's simple. What kind? Terrier is on the stagecoach with Caleb now. You remember the troubles my brother had? Alcohol? He drank like a fucking fish, so I got him a dog, Guthrie the second. I told Caleb he needed to feed and walk the dog every day while I was at work. Did he? At first, no. The dog made a right mess of my carpet, and he was starving when I got him. But I told Caleb he wasn't my dog. If he died, Caleb would have to bury him in the yard behind the dump. You gave him something to look after. He wasn't my dog to save. If he died, Caleb's drinking would be the cause. So in the end, he sobered up long enough to take the dog a walk. After a week, he was spending all his booze money on sausages for the mutt. Daft bastard. Besides, I wouldn't really let the dog die. I just had to pretend. You know me by now, pal. I'm a big softy. Caleb has a big heart too, you know. He dotes on that dog, his new obsession. I'm sure all he thinks about is his dog now, but that's better than just thinking about where he's going to get his next drink. I doubt my ma will thank me for sending another dog back home, but too bad. If it stops Caleb from picking his liver, she'll just need to live with it. Yeah. You are right, man. You are right there. So now let's ask about the thing. Can you tell me what happened that night? Bjorn stares blankly. He looked defeated, but then you see perhaps a glimmer in his eye. Hope remains. I just made mistake after mistake, going to the party with Lucas, then believing that damn message on my portogram. I was a damn fool. What's a portogram? The question seems to snap Bjorn out of his funk. He shrugs and pulls a small device out of his pocket. I got it with my new job. I don't know how this stuff works. I just carry it around, and when it beeps, I get a message. Still got the last message right here. 2331 PL. Oh, Petro Lombardo. Location, furnace, steel mill. We must talk. PL, Petro Lombardo? Aye, it seems that way. There was an issue at work, union stuff. I assumed it was that. I left the party and went to the steel mill straight away. I look for my contact by the main furnace, but then... Bjorn closes his eyes and shakes his head, his fists clenched, knuckles white. It all happened so damn fast. Just tell me what you do remember. It was dark cause they dropped the shop's light at night. I stumbled through the west gate, and as I walked past a pillar, I get slugged in the gut. Hard. I double over and heard the gate close behind me. It deadlocks. I catch my breath. I've been hit harder than that, but not much. Can barely see the big bastard in the gloom, but I try to get space. Give him a good shove. Reach for the gate, but the lock is set, so he grabs me again. Never lost a fight in my puff, but I was losing this one, and this was different. This guy, he had done this before. Beaten men to death. I can't believe I found the dooming hammer in the dark. I was going to use it on the lock, I swear. Bjorn takes a deep breath. You already know what he will say next. I swung as hard as I could, like my life depended on it. I could swing like that 100 times and never make contact so perfectly. Right in the head, I hit him, cracked like a fucking egg. What happened after that? It's all a blur. I don't remember how long I stood there. I don't even remember dropping the hammer. All I know is that when I come to my senses, all I could think was of Lucas. Why him? He always know what to do. He didn't know who else. I didn't know who else to turn to, so I found the phone, called him, and just sat there waiting. When he finally arrived, he knew it was bad, really bad. He insisted we get rid of the body. I just numbly followed his lead. We threw it in the furnace and went home. Did the attacker have a photogram? I didn't think to check. If he did, it must have ended up in the furnace. What next? Lucas was frantic, and he was worried that no one would believe I was innocent. Neither of us slept that night. I think he knew it was the wrong decision, but it was too late. The deck was stacked against us, so we just sat there, waiting. Of course, the police quickly found us and asked me to come to the station. You already know the rest. Looking at me now, you wouldn't guess I was in a fight for my life, right? I've never bruised easily, and that's not exactly my case now, helping my case now. Still, it's a relief to tell this to someone who might believe me. Thanks for listening, pal. What do you think of me now? Less, I reckon. You acted in self-defense. I appreciate it, pal. I hope the courts feel the same, but I doubt it. It's better for me to die in a jail cell than on a battlefield, I suppose. Still, never imagined life in Bukovie would turn out like this. We'll do everything we can to prove your innocence. I should get myself home. If I stay too late, I risk getting caught, which would look bad in front of a judge. See you soon. Okay, so we know the second murder was Bjorn after all. So let's say that to Hugo. Hello, Hugo. Hello, Hugo. So, we've got a lot of things to talk. Lucas lied about Bjorn's supposed alibi, trying to protect him. Bjorn has no alibi for the time of the murder at that end. So, I should have known. He's lucky I have a compassion for a fool in love. We've all been there. I won't charge him for the obstruction of justice, but he's on the thin ice after this. That's decent. You've been in love? Don't sound so surprised. Okay, this. Bjorn vanished after an argument with Petru shortly before he was killed by a tall, blonde man. Bjorn is suddenly strong enough to have beaten someone to death. I'll spare you the "I told you so" partner, but I'm sure I don't need to tell you. This is bad. The only saving grace for Bjorn is our lack of a motive. We need to know what this argument was about. Well, I have the motive, man. And I'm going to give you... Oh, I already gave you that. Okay, the killer in the confessional was surely the same man Clara saw leaving Petru's room, as both whistled the same old tune. Father Lacey spoke to Petru's killer. He should be able to help us identify him. The same tune, I agree. It's unlikely to have been mere coincidence. Bjorn has a rather distinct accent, doesn't he? Lacey should be able to confirm whether or not he's our man with but a single conversation. Father Lacey has been avoiding Bjorn. Surely a priest would be able to muster up some courage to defend a potentially innocent man. If not, this is where you work your magic, partner. I'll do my best. And finally, the setup. Bjorn received a message from Petru on his postagram at 11:30, telling him to come to the metalworks. Once there, he was brutally attacked in the dark by a man who he killed in self-defense. So he did kill the second victim. I figured he would confess sooner or later. It was self-defense. So he claims. Does Bjorn expect us to believe Petro lured him out there to die, only to be killed himself that same night? Two betrayals is not very elegant, is it? And are you sure you read the time of the message correctly? Something about it just doesn't line up. I'm sure we are missing something. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk to the boss. Let's start from right to left this time around. So, boss. Bartender, you are in a good mood. Okay. Let's give you your favorite. First, which is the dry war. Cool. And you love me. So, do you know the operator of the stack? Yes, and I confess I'm fond of the young lady, even if she is a Rusalka and has vodka for breakfast. I used to think Rusalka was a proud nation, staunch and hardly, but I fear that no matter where people hail from these days, standards of civility and manners have gone down everywhere else in the world. Nonetheless, I adore the young lady's incessant question about Southern culture and history. I can't imagine a better match than Ilya and I for two eager conversationalists. She never runs out of questions about Bukovie, and I never tire of them. Quite so. She has a hunger for knowledge that cannot be stated. I have a desire to expound on Southern culture that cannot be exhausted. In our time, I must confess she has taught me a thing or two as well. Did you know that in Rusalka there are towns where the snow never melts? All year round, all white, blinding so. Can you imagine? And in the north, you can witness the aurora. My wife always wanted to witness an aurora. I've only seen illustration in books. To see it with my own eyes, with your own eyes. I digress. But the girl Ilya, truly a delight, you know. Feng Bei and I often debate the future of Bukovie's young. She's hopeful the youngsters will make the world better, but I have my doubts. But if we had more youngsters like Ilya, maybe we could hope for a better world for our children. I mean, children in a metaphorical sense, of course. Of course. Okay. So 2 actions left. Okay. Let's present the motive of Bjorn. Lombardo was using Bjorn to launder money, and all the while his buh is working at the bank. He could have destroyed the boy's career, the fool. Bjorn didn't know he was doing anything wrong. You're probably right, Lombardo may have preyed on Bjorn's ignorance, but even if he can't be held accountable, this only makes things look worse for him, doesn't it? Okay. And what about the red-handed? This sounds damning. Anyone who would put 2 and 2 together and assume Bjorn was the blonde man. It's getting late. Yeah. Bye-bye. Ilya, my friend. Evening again, barkeep. Evening, Ilya. Okay, so we've got one more question, but first let's give you some drinking. Okay. And it's going to be the ambush. We know that you already love that. Good. Now, I noticed you looking at the bar's decor. Do you like it? Oh, I was more so admiring the architecture. One of the best ways to learn about how the world once was is to look at how the world is now. This basement clearly has a rich history. I can tell from cornicing that this speakeasy and the library above was once a municipal building. You and Vincent must get on. We do, but I feel talking with him for hours on end about cornicing is not really the kind of socializing my parents always wanted me to engage in. Still, we do also talk about culture. Vincent was asking me about instruments from Rosalka, but I actually preferred Southern folk music. I'm half Italian, but they don't have many traditional instruments either. I prefer a lot of things about Southern culture. That's why I came here. Really? Yes, Vincent has been a great tour guide through Southern culture. At first he was a bit wary of me, as he is with most foreigners, but that faded when I asked him about ancient Southern architecture. So I guess you could say, although we had our differences, that's ancient history. Do you get it? Do you understand my joke? No, I get it. Very funny. What? Really? Yeah, somewhat. Oh, right. Nice one. Great. Anyway, I really am fascinated by history. When I get bored of one subject, I can always switch. What subject are you interested in now? Oh, for a while, Vincent was taking me through the history of Bukovie roofing materials. You know, we'd go on a walk on to that bakery he likes, even though I don't really care about cakes. He would go on about them, so I would eat one and pretend I love it too, and he would talk about tiled roofs and sloped roofs and the old thatched roofs, and anyway, Vincent and I found it interesting. Now though, I think I would like to learn more about this building, and I have some drinks while I look around. Certainly. Okay. So, evidence-wise, probably you won't know anything about this. Let's talk about the father. I'm afraid I don't have information. I never really attend church. Yeah, you already said that. So you don't know father at all. Let's give Clara's statement then. It was brave of her to stick around and get a glimpse, or foolish. It's interesting how our judgment of a decision is so affected by the outcome. I guess that's just how our minds work. What about the motive? Mr. Johansson would do well to read up on the law. His money laundering activities make him an accomplice to fraud, if not worse. He'd better come clean. Perhaps an amicable agreement is possible, though obviously murder complicates matters. I admire your optimism. Okay, what about the evidence towards him? I'm afraid I don't have information. Yeah. So let's give you the false alibi, or... yeah, the false alibi. Ah, you don't have the information. I believe it's not quite last orders. Yeah. Bye-bye, Ilya. So now, Clara. Hey again. Evening, Clara. Let's catch up. Okay, let's give you your favorite. I think I've just got you drunk last time, so don't need to do that again. Right. Yeah, I did. She didn't like that at all, but we did. So let's give her the copper bullet now, that she will like. Cool. And now evidence. This one. Poor Lucas. I hope that Starchy detective isn't going to get on his case about it. He was just trying to help. Starchy? You know what I mean. He's crushier than a sack of crispy rice puffs. Sure, cops aren't easygoing, but even for Bukovie PD, he's a stale slice of brown bread. I agree. And killer's confession. Boy, am I glad I caught that whistling. So Father Lacey sat next to some serial killer. I'm surprised he didn't have an heart attack on the spot. Me too. I hope they'll find him soon. Hopefully he's not Bjorn, but if so, the idea that this guy's still out there gives me the heebie-jeebies. Me too. Okay, the setup. Someone attacked Bjorn? Who would be foolish enough to try that? He's like a shaved bear. Well, except for his face. Okay. And this. Look, I know I told you what I saw, and I agree it could be Bjorn, but you don't seriously think that it actually is Bjorn, right? The guy sitting in the bar with us, that big friendly Scotian guy? I don't think so either, but we have to be thorough. Right, of course. Yeah, go home then. Go home then. Now, Maria. Good evening, Maria. So, we don't need you to get drunk. So let's give your favorite. Which is the ambush. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let's present you with evidence. This. First. Something's upset the priest. Poor man. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I didn't get the impression he was very resilient. Oh. Okay. We already know this. Okay. So, what about this? Killer confession. The killer asked for permission at confession to kill? That can't be Bjorn. This doesn't add up. I've seen evil, looked it in the eye, spoke to it. I didn't know it then, but I'm wiser now. I'd recognize it anywhere. I hope you are right. I hope you are right indeed. False alibi. Please don't be too hard on Mr. Crown. It sounds like he only wanted to protect the person he cares about. I just hope he didn't sidetrack the detective's investigation too much. Thankfully not. Okay, let's say the setup. I don't really know anything about that, I'm afraid. Okay. What about the motive? You shouldn't be telling people about this. Poor Mr. Johansson is in a world of trouble as it is, without getting pinched for being an unnecessary to a crime. I trust that you won't tell Maria? Alright, just be a little bit more discreet, will you? People trust you, bartender. Don't betray that trust. Yeah, you are getting sleepy. So, if you are getting sleepy, I'm going to the machine to see if the machine has anything new. It has, about Bjorn. Okay. Bjorn. Born 1891 in Scotia, not much is known about him regarding the first years after his arrival in Bukovie. He was recently arrested and released on bail by the Bukovie police as he's suspected of committing a double murder, one victim being local politician Petro Lombardo, Bukovie's treasure. While the investigation is ongoing, all the local politicians have submitted requests to the court of law to prioritize his trial to see justice prevail and calm the frightened citizens. The recent upsurge of interest has made news outlets dig deeper into his past. Many different sources ultimately cover the same information. Johansson worked as a laborer at a local steel mill and was even conversing with Petro Lombardi at a party that occurred right before the discovery of his body. Okay. So, not much going on in the machine as well. And I think I've just presented Hugo with all the evidence that we could. So this was not a very fruitful day. Yeah, it was not. So let's end the day. Yes. And I'm going to bring you the next day in this episode still. So let's do it. Let's do it indeed. Pet ginger ale. Do we have anything new on the board? We do, the setup. Indeed. Not sure if this is going to do anything, but okay. Oh, 2 birds, 1 stone. Petro was already dead when Bjorn received the message from his portogram. If Bjorn is telling the truth, that means his attacker was also Petro's killer. Sadly, the body can no longer be identified. We'll need to find another way to find the killer's identity. 2 bodies, 1 stone. Cool, man. Cool. That was nice. Okay, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's see if it connects to anything. Doesn't seem like it, but I will try nevertheless. Okay. So nothing to do here. More. And let's pet ginger ale. And let's go to sleep. Let's get into day 5. Whew, tough case, man. Tough case, this one. Oh, okay. Oh, we got Father Lacey. Excellent. With that said, let's talk to you first. Hello again. You go. So I have a new insight to present to you. 2 birds, 1 stone. Of course, how could I have been so short-sighted? So our murderer dealt with Petro, stole his portogram, and then lured Bjorn out to the metal works to kill him too. But why? Why Bjorn? What connects him to Petro? Miljar, this is infuriating. How could he be foolish enough to burn the body and Petro's portogram along with it? We'll have to find another lead. Something will turn up, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's talk to the father first. So starting from right to left. Father Lacey. Okay, so let's give you your favorite if we already know it. But I don't think we know yet. Copper bullet you like, the dry war not so much. 6 a little bit too much. 7 it's more than too much. So let's start from up. Mint punch. I don't think you are going to like that, but okay. Yeah. You don't like that at all. It's 2 drinks and we still didn't find anyone. But okay. So let's present you with some evidence, father. Like... okay, this one. What do you want from me? Do you think you can remember the voice of the person who confessed? You see Father Lacey freezed up again, like claws have stretched down his spine. He shakes his head. No, I cannot remember. I don't want to remember. Let the memories die with me, I beg you. It seems Father Lacey is far too bad a mood to discuss this topic. Sorry. With everything going on, I require something strong to get me through the week. About the confessor's voice. What do you want from me? Oh, it's the same thing. So we need him on a good mood. Okay. How do I get him in a good mood? That's... going to be surprising. We've been over this one already, Bartender. That was plenty for me. And Clara's statement. I don't know anything about that. Please, for the goddess sake, leave me out of it, all of this. So you didn't help at all, man. But we need you to get in a good mood. How the hell do I do that? Bartender, Miss Floor, Mr. Floor, my appetite for conversation has waned lately, but I trust you to rekindle the flames. Yes, indeed. So let's give you your favorite. Or let's make you drunk, why not? You need only 6. And we've got the one night stand exactly for that. A decent blend of flavors. Bully for you. Okay. So let's start from this now. If he is telling the truth, the second victim was Petra's murder. That's a mighty big if. It is easy to blame a dead man. My appetite, yeah. The setup. You don't expect me to believe such tall tales, do you? Bjorn has just admitted to killing a man. Case closed. Killer's confession. Petra's murder spoke to Father Lacey. It seems the moment of truth is at hand. I hope you are prepared to pragmatically accept his verdict and the truth. There will be no gloating from me. I take no pleasure in seeing you betrayed by someone you fought to defend, even if it was against my better judgment. I only tried to shield you from that. I'm sorry. Lacey will prove Bjorn's innocence. Just you watch. Vincent shakes his head disapprovingly, but his face betrays a mix of sadness and concern. Lucas is a young man from a good family with solid prospects. He's risking a lot by putting his neck on the line here. I know. Clara's statement. There you have it. Are you finally satisfied? Is a witness placing him at the scene enough for you? That could have been any blonde man. Oh, come now. You are clutching at straws. Don't allow the wool to be pulled over your eyes by an unscrupulous foreigner. It's getting late. Yeah, it's getting late. Oh boy. So let's go to Feng Bei now. Evening, Miss Bei. Okay. I put you already on a bad mood, so let's give you now your favorite. Which is... we don't know. Okay, we don't know. So let's ask what you like. What kind of drinks can I get you? Minty and fresh. Okay. Minty and fresh. So let's try this, the mint punch. Minty and fresh it is. Delicious! You're quite the skilled mixologist. I should bring you some teas. Perhaps your clientele might like it mixed with something alcoholic. So we discover her favorite. At least one of them. Yeah. We discovered it. Good. Very, very nice. So, let's share evidence with you. Oh, probably not. This is not the best one. Let's talk about Clara's statement first. It sounds to me like Clara is lucky she wasn't spotted, or things could have ended badly for her. I know Maria has a soft spot for her, but if you ask me, the girl is a bit too brave for her own good. Perhaps. Okay, let's ask about Father Lacey then. You were the one saying me this. Goddess, if the father had knew something awful was about to happen, that would certainly have explained the state I found him in. But why did he tell me about it? Why lock the confessional? I'm really worried he might be in some sort of trouble. I know you can be very persuasive, bartender, so please speak to him. I know he's always been fond of the royal flush. Okay, perhaps it will make him warm up to you. Royal flush, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Royal flush is very, very strong, man. But okay. And this. Goddess, I had no idea Father Lacey was carrying such a burden. What kind of a despicable villain would bring such evil into a church, into her holy place, committing a mortal sin on hallowed ground? I hope they catch him soon. This idea that this kind of wicked individual might be hiding among us, it sent shivers down my spine. Yeah, he's dead, man. He is dead. I'm not surprised they are one and the same. It would take a thoroughly even person to kill someone like that. There's no way Mr. Hansen is responsible. It seems the time has come for Father Lacey to be bold. I'm sure he will muster up the courage if you ask him. You think? I know you wouldn't think it, but John was once a very different person. When he first took over our priest, he was a bright young man, eager to guide his flock. Sadly, grief poured into his soul, and nothing gnaws away at a person like doubt. I'm sure he still has in him somewhere, a fate. I will. Okay, so we have to give Father the royal flush. Now finally Peter. Bartender, Peter. Okay. Do we know what you like? We do, the perfect storm, but let's give you something strong. You already love me. So, 7 it is, the drama queen. Drama queen it is. Even your experiments taste alright. Okay, so you are an employee now. Peter looks at you through narrowed eyes, now lubricated with alcohol. It seems he's ready to talk. His expression softens as he lets his guard down a little, become surprisingly somber for his usual doing. Spare me your teasing, bartender. I'm not really not in the mood for it. What's the matter? Huh, there's no point beating around the bush with you, is there? You'd squeeze it out of me sooner or later, but anyway. Shit's fucking dead, Squirt. Carlos? Dead? Yeah. There was nothing in the papers about this. You've got your fingers on the pulse, huh? There has been a peep because I'm keeping it that way. The days when journalists risk their lives investigating the criminal underworld are long gone. Journalists sit around their office now drinking Joe. You are lucky if they are brave enough to poke their nose out of the window. They'd rather rework Bukovie PD press release. And any chance of exposing blue-collar shift? Forget about it. The papers are owned by the people who need to control the press and have the money to make it happen. The press is crooked? What do you think, Squirt? Yeah, I'd say the press is pretty crooked. I work all kind of jobs, and one or two of them were all about making sure the right folks got the right stories printed. Or the wrong folks. The right folks are the ones that pay me, the wrong folks are the dead ones. Not hard to remember. Keep it simple, bartender, that's my advice to you. And at all times, keep your nose out. Bukovie is a power keg. As soon as the news of Carlos kicking the bucket gets out, it will be blatant. We'll start a street war on our hands. Enough folks looking to fill her shoes already. So, how'd she died? Carla met a brutal end at the hands of someone who never want to meet. I could barely recognize the body. Would hate to find yours in a similar state one day. That's all. And hey, at least your debt is off now. I wasn't lying. That's good, but are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just never expected to outlive Carla. Never mind find her body like that. She always seems so invincible, you know? 3 steps ahead. She was unpredictable, but my world is an unstable one, and she kept things quieter. She made it seem like no matter what happened, we had a plan for it. I seen plenty folks get messed up, but this was a bad scene, Squirt. I got a strong stomach, but it's different when you see someone like Carla in that state. It felt like I'd been taking my first step down the wrong road and there's no way back. I had to take care of it before anyone else saw. Carried out of the car in the dark and drove an hour out of the city to go dig a pit in some forgotten piece hole of the road. Had to touch my gloves along with her books after it was done. They were so soaked, sat in the grass and smoked half a pack of Marlboros before I could get behind the wheel again. It shook you up? Don't worry about me. Worry about the mess left behind. Goddess! Who knows how bad things will get now. I need another drink. Okay, man. Okay. The news about Carla's demise would change everything about your work. Put that together, did you? Yeah, her little vacation is already putting people on edge, and some folks are getting rowdy, getting some real funny ideas. Once the truth gets out, there's gonna be some serious upheaval in my world. I doubt there's much sitting around anymore. I need to get ahead of this, need to sort out what I'm gonna to do. You should quit. I don't know. What else am I good for? I see my mates clamber over each other to climb to the top. But not you? Maybe I'm getting too old for this, or too soft. You have been nicer recently. Yeah, well, you've grown on me. Kinda like a fungus. I suppose if someone puts a contract on you now, I wouldn't even do it. It probably cut off someone else's finger and say it was yours. You might need to wear gloves for a while. How romantic. But I guess I am at this sort of crossroads. There's only 2 ways I can go. I can't see a way to split the difference. What are the 2 roads? The first one isn't too different from the road I'm already on, but it's gonna get real bumpy. I can see how things are getting worse on the streets. Once the obituary is in the papers, it's gonna be chaos. Do I set up, grab Carla's throne before anyone else has the chance to make a play for it? Do I try to keep up? Because if I go down that road, I'm gonna have to become the monster folk already think I am. Worse than that. The folks that will survive those streets wars are gonna be the ones that are willing to do whatever it takes to come out on top. The survivors ain't gonna be the cleverest or the calmest ones. Are you sure? Oh yes, this ain't the first Underworld war. I've been through 5, maybe 6 if you count the distillery affair. Every time the same things happen. The worst get worse and the rest get dead, and I always choose the first option. That's why my face is so interesting looking. But there is another way. Sure, there's always another way. And what? Leave and become an average schmo? What do you think? I become some loser, some nobody? Peter, talk to me. Look, I got friends that walked that road, left the life and went straight. It ended badly for them, and they were smarter than me. What chance have I got, even with Carla too dead, to send her goons after me for ditching her? You can learn from their mistakes. Yeah, say I settle down, move out of the city, start working at I don't know, a market stall, selling cucumbers to grandmothers, making small talk with the farmers and customers, really connecting with the common man. And one day some old man comes in and he recognizes me from my scars. He remembers how I kneecapped his nephew for missing payments on a fucking loan for a barn extension. When the old bastard turns up at my market stall with his 6 burly cousins and I've got no weapon and my guard is down, how am I gonna explain to them that I'm a changed man who has found redemption and peace before they stab me with a fucking pitchfork and throw my corpse in a grain silo? It doesn't have to be that way. I do know, Skirt. You really think I got it in me to start over, turn a new leaf? Goddess knows. I would have broke your legs last week if the boss asked me to, but would have felt bad about it, obviously, but I still wouldn't done it. Knowing that, you still think someone like me deserves a chance at a regular, legitimate life? I believe you can do it, Peter, and I want to help you. Well, I will consider it. Thanks for having some faith in me, Squirt. That means a lot. I guess you are telling me what I need to hear, and I appreciate it. Now let's change the subject before I'll get all mushy on ya. Okay. So, evidence-wise, this. Hey, good idea, poor execution. Who dispose of evidence at the first place of work, especially after they just been at the scene of another crime? He shouldn't have at least dumped the body in the river, or... Peter. Right, sorry. I'll tell you this, whoever this guy was, he knew where Bjorn worked, that he had a connection of Petro and where Petro would be that night. This was not some amateur. Yeah, I do agree, Peter. I do agree. The setup. I wouldn't have bet money on the killer stalking Bjorn down, but never write off a Scotian, I guess. Bjorn fucked that guy good and proper. I seen it before. The will to survive is just stronger in some folks than others. Can't believe Petro set him up though. Fucking rat. He had it coming. You are real smart, aren't you? Let's hope the good father can pull it all together now, for Johansson's sake. I gotta beat it. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at the computer first. And then I'm going to win the episode the next day. Because we did manage to advance some bit. 2 new leads. That's good, man. That's very good. So you go. We've got some new things to talk about. Carla's demise. Carla is dead, having been beaten to death in her office last week. A very brutal murder. Peter seems to know more about her killer, but isn't willing to tell me. I'll have to piece it together myself. Carla is dead? I don't like this one bit. What is Peter playing at? He kept his under wraps. How sure are you that he didn't do it? I trust Peter. A big fish like Carla dropping off is bad news. It could be a grab for power, but it could also be something more sinister. I wonder if there's a link to our case here. The MO sure rings a bell, doesn't it? It's possible. It's possible indeed, man. So, let's end the day. Let's put the new evidence in our board. and see what we can do with it. Probably naughty, but first bet ginger ale. Carla's demise. So let's start trying to connect things. Oh man. I'm going to put this one here, the motive and the evidence. Okay, bare knuckle job. Both Carla and Petro were beaten to death, killed a mere week apart. Could they have been taken out by the same killer, who has a very specific MO? Yeah. I do agree, man. I do agree. Okay. Ray of Flesh, man. I have to remember that for tomorrow to give Father a Ray of Flesh, but with the Ray of Flesh he'll be very inebriated and unwilling to talk to us, probably. But maybe next time around we see him, he's already on a good mood. At least that's the hope. Okay. Okay, nothing more. So let's bet ginger ale and let's end the episode here on day 6, I think. Day 6, indeed. Saturday. So, we've got an eavesdrop, we got 4 patrons, so that could be cool. And with that, I'm going to end today's episode here, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and leave me some comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. My name is TituElite. I hope to see you tomorrow for the continuation of this case 3, where hopefully we are going to learn more about this and maybe get Father Lacey finally in a good mood. For now, this is it. Bye bye and take care.